in the audience, lectures for them, either herself going to various Jewish lectures and studies and shiurim, or then maybe she would be going to one of two different Jewish choirs, one's not enough, of course, and constantly on the go doing chesed. I think that answers the question why I'm not one of the honorees, quite frankly. As for how I ended up being the MC here, 2 weeks ago the phone rings and Ruth answers it, and I hear her say, "Oh, hello, Rebbetzin Cohen." The next thing I know, she comes into the room where I am, and she says, handing me the phone, and she goes, "Just say yes, just say yes." The only thing I could think of was the dear departed phrase of Nancy Reagan during the drug days when she'd say, "Just say no, just say no." But I decided that I would say yes. And the reason I decided to say yes is because Ruth convinced me that we are now standing upon the footsteps of the Mashiach, and there's a very strong likelihood that between 2 weeks ago and tonight's dinner, the Mashiach will be here, and you will not have to be the MC. I'm counting on the Mashiach to be here between the time we leave the dinner and I have to pay for the parking. It is with trepidation. I know that the rabbi was afraid to say anything about the Rebbetzin because of what the warning he got. You can only imagine the warnings that I received before I went to speak and introduce Ruth. I think that Ruth has really become transformed over the years. I'm married 44 years to this woman. This is not the woman I married. Technically speaking, we could claim, Rabbi, could I claim mekach taot, that the whole marriage was off because this is not the woman? I didn't look on it carefully, and now I find a different woman here. Ruth, please come up. I know Rebbe Cohen wants to give you an award.
Good evening, everyone. Tonight, I wish to express my profound gratitude to Hashem Yisborach and for everything He has bestowed on me and my family. I do wish to give a hearty mazel tov to Sharon and Abraham Lynn. Sharon is a fellow student with me in Rebbetzin Cohen's shiur on Mondays. Our class is one of camaraderie and endless and heightened joy for learning. Our Chevairot, in their own right, contribute so very much with their added warmth and support. And of course to Sharon Shore, to whom we give endless gratitude for bringing the Rebbetzin to Bergen County, and for hosting all of us in her beautiful home every Monday. But mostly I am here tonight and have accepted this honor because it affords me the opportunity to proclaim how Rebbetzin Leah Cohen has impacted my life, as I know she has done the same for thousands of women from all walks of life. Since I began learning with the Rebbetzin over a decade ago, my life has been enriched with the sanctity of Torah knowledge and spiritual growth. It is with these essential tools of emunah and bitachon that I have gained from my mentor, Rebbetzin Cohen, and that I ask Hashem to strengthen every day. I have been able to understand and recognize there is a Yad Hashem, a loving hand of God in all our lives. There are also many people that we encounter through the course of our lives, and Hashem, knowing our failings and our insecurities, has sent his specified messengers to open us up to the possibility of correction, change, and enlightenment. Thus, inspiring us to refine our midot for the betterment of ourselves, our family, our community, Klal Yisrael, and the world at large, for a tikkun olam. And Rebbitzin, you have been that individual, a most inspiring teacher and messenger for me. Your teachings have shown me the tremendous importance for the greater involvement in serving the Jewish community. 7 years ago, several women and I formed a choir named Shira Chesed to bring Hanukkah music to those patients and residents who are in acute or chronic care facilities, such as hospitals, independent and assisted living quarters, and those in nursing homes. We sing classical Jewish music with lyrics in Yiddish, Hebrew, and English. Our concert, one concert I should say, that we had scheduled stands out as a very memorable moment where all of us recognize the Yad Hashem, the hand of God, and his divine intervention. 2 years ago, we had scheduled this concert, and when we arrived, we discovered that the receptionist had no record of a scheduled Hanukkah concert. The residents that evening were already engaged in another activity. When we heard the news, we were quite disappointed, but needless to say, it looked as though we might have to turn around and unfortunately go home. We stood there for a while, deliberating whether we should reschedule when a woman suddenly appeared. We did not know who she was. Was she a nurse, or was she an administrator? She seemed to come from out of nowhere, nor did she introduce herself. She appeared just like a figure from the tales of Rav Nachman. Yet, she beckoned us to follow her in a somewhat circuitous route to another portion of the building. Finally, we arrived at our destination and, surprisingly, entered through a large door, a locked ward. Let me describe to you this scene as we entered. The residents' faces seemed first expressionless, the memory loss so very apparent, and their individual struggles, coping with the difficulty of their lives, made us all want to help in some way, to unlock the darkness and let in some light. We knew we had something valuable to share with them, our music, which would bring light into their neshamot. As our pianist played on and we sang, making our rounds to each one in the room, we were given their unique response to us. Whether it was a smile, a small voice uttered, a clapping of hands, or eyes that were closed and opening just for a moment. Even tears welled up into their eyes. There was this apparent recognition of perhaps their own individual memories of their Hanukkah past. Yes, our greatest joy was to witness this beautiful miracle of their bodies, their mouths, and their hearts opening up with a deep desire to sing with us. We will never forget this memorable evening, for indeed it was designated for us to serve Hashem in a higher purpose, and for us to achieve a greater chesed than originally intended. For the hand of Hashem was apparent, and we now all had an understanding why we had come. This was a group of residents with severe and moderate dementia or Alzheimer's, who were not scheduled for a Hanukkah performance, yet Hashem intervened. And our mission that evening was to entertain them, the weary, the needy, to uplift their souls. And there was more to our coming, for the staff too sang, and they danced with their patience. The non-Jewish staff praised our choir and remarked that they never saw such joy, for we had brought happiness and holiday cheer to them as well. Now may we all be blessed in giving to others, as I've learned from you, Rebbetzin Cohen, to partner with our Creator, to fill a void and share, and to see and open up our eyes wide to Hashem's loving hand in our everyday lives. May I give Hakaras Hatov to the following people. I wish to thank all of the faculty of the Jewish Renaissance Center, particularly Hani Juravel, to whom I also had the merit of learning with for several years. I thank the staff, headed by Esther Gottlieb. And to her assistant, Carla, who tirelessly put this dinner and the journal together so very beautifully. Of course, I could not forget my loving and supportive family. I am grateful to my husband, Lou, and you are so good, Lou, tonight. Not only for your acceptance to be the MC of this dinner, I am grateful to Hashem for his love, support, gifted wit, that is, gifted wit, and humor, which always seemed to lighten my serious demeanor. I am grateful to have our three beautiful and precious daughters, Idina, Danielle, and Michelle, who are Baruch Hashem here tonight, and for their wonderful spouses, Jack, Josh, Charlie, who could not be here tonight, unfortunately, with them. And of course, the crown of their elders, our precious grandchildren, Emma, Isaac, Judah, Zoe, hi Zoe, Kobe, Ariella, and little Teddy. Thank you all, to my extended family, my wonderful community, and my Jewish Renaissance friends, and to all of you in sharing this most memorable evening. Looking forward to Chodesh Tov, Adar Sheni, and a Chag Purim Sameach for all of us.